I just haven't. Just not something that I ever took the time to pick up, despite picking up other stuff that kind of relates to it around it. But thanks to Jeff Rabjohns, who helped me secure a couple of these that were complete, as opposed to being ones that were sort of piecemeal or missing slip covers and stuff like that from over in the UK. I'm now able to show them here on the show and make a quick comparison to what we saw from the US. It's not going to be something earth-shattering, but for those who've been wondering, why haven't these been shown? It's because I didn't have them, but now I do. So, you may recall that in the US in 2011, there were 3 different Blu-ray releases that you could have gotten. There was the complete saga at the time, right? Episodes 1 through 6, 2011 Blu-ray cuts. This was in that interesting digibook form with that hard outer cover and the digibook style interior with those cardboard pages that you slip the discs into. This was both really nice looking and for many fans really frustrating because there were claims a lot of times about discs being scratched. I've not experienced that myself, but that was one of the common complaints about this style of packaging. We will come back to the complaints about that style and how the UK addressed it differently. But also in the US, we had the prequel trilogy done as a Blu-ray set here. Nice slip cover with the interior case here, which then included a little insert plus the 3 discs on their little arms. That was one way you could get them, but remember, this was a 9-disc set, all 6 films, plus a bonus disc for the prequels, a bonus disc for the original trilogy, and a bonus disc with spoofs and documentaries on it, whereas this was just the 3 films of the prequel trilogy. You didn't get any of the bonus material whatsoever. The only bonus content at all was audio commentaries, 2 per film, because those were built into the film discs, not a separate bonus disc. And then, of course, we had the original trilogy released in similar fashion over here, again, back in 2011. We've seen these before. In fact, we saw these very early on, back in some of the really crappy video quality episodes, I believe, of the show in its early days. We're well over 400 episodes of the show now, and boy, you could tell the quality change visually over time. And you could tell I keep getting older and older and older. And gaining some weight, too. I kind of look normal now as opposed to looking as scrawny as I used to. But that's neither here nor there. Those were the 3 ways you could get them in the US. And if you pre-ordered at Best Buy, you could actually get a Cinetype, a little film cell reproduction for Complete Saga. We'll actually look at that here in just a second because there's an equivalent from the UK and they're essentially the same. But over in the UK, we've looked at a few things, but we've not looked at the equivalents of all of those yet. We did look at their version of the Complete Saga that had a limited edition version and a regular version. But theirs, while being a nice hard outer case, you notice is bigger overall. Right? It is the same height, the same width, but then as soon as you look at it from anything that takes the depth into account, it is a significantly deeper package here. And inside, rather than face the same complaints as the digibook from the US, remember theirs has those separate pages here, right? The little blue pages. And again, this happens to be the limited edition one. They got that Cinetype, the same one you could get as a pre-order bonus at Best Buy. Little film cell reproduction here on a card. We've looked at that before. Then also from 2011, we did see another one from the UK. That was this one. But we got this one because, you know, it was sort of non-standard, right? No slipcover on it. A little thing here that says, not for individual sale. And inside, a little 5 pounds off at HMV Panasonic reward slip type of thing here. This was that odd version of the original trilogy in the UK that was actually provided with some Panasonic Blu-ray players as a bonus item. It's like a pack-in item, kind of like video game consoles used to be packaged with video games every time. You still sometimes see it now, but not necessarily as often. This is the Star Wars Blu-ray equivalent in the UK of like Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt with this NES action set for the original Nintendo Entertainment System back in the day. That kind of thing. But we never did see the regular versions of these, neither for the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. Instead, we sort of jumped ahead and saw the 2013 steelbooks of the prequels and the original trilogy coming out of the UK, but it was those steelbooks that included the whole trilogy that didn't have an equivalent